welcome back to my channel, PumpkinBecki. In today's video we're doing a little bit of an update slash review of my grow lights and how they've been working for me and the plants. This is not an update on my succulents. I did one of those at Christmas. This is an update on the lights and how they're working for me. So you might remember that I chose the Sunblaster T5 Nano combo system, which includes the fluorescent light and its power bar, and then also a really lovely reflector bar as well. I'm going to take you through some of my successes and some of my failures slash learning curves today on this video. So here's a little overview shot of the shelving units with the lights on. The lights are on for about 12 hours a day. Now this is an east-southeast facing window. It is getting a lot of daylight, but it doesn't get enough daylight. I would not be able to keep these plants going with normal natural daylight that I receive in this room, or indeed any of the rooms in my house. So I've got, generally speaking, my tallest plants on the lower shelf. They have the lights set up the highest and the plants as low as I can get them. The middle shelf, the lights are set a little bit lower, so they're closer to the plants. And then on the top shelf we've got the smallest distance between the lights and the shelf, so that anything that is really small, cuttings, that sort of thing, or leaf propagations that I'm doing, I can keep really close to the lights. The grow lights are on for about 12 hours a day. They come on around 6:30 in the morning, and they go off just before 7 at the moment, and we can extend that time, we can shorten it. They're on a normal timer, very easy. These grow lights have been installed for about 3 months now, and I've definitely learnt some lessons in that time. Not all succulents like the same amount of light. Some like to have the lights really close, really full on, and they need to be right dead under the lights, because if they're not, they will start to stretch towards the light source. Others are much more forgiving, and what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little look at a couple of the plants on the shelves here and try to understand what's going on with them in terms of success or lack of success. So this first little one we're going to look at, I am pretty sure is a Senecio. It does not enjoy being right under the grow lights. You can see it has got very dry. The tips tend to burn quite a lot. You can just see that the tips are going brown and receding. I've had this little Senecio about 12 centimetres, I suppose, away from the light source, once you take into account the height of the pot and then the distance from the leaves to the lights. It is not happy. I pinched it out, and you can see that I've been propagating from it all around just to help it bush out, but actually it is looking ever so sad. What I'm actually doing for it now is leaving it on the ground just in front of the shelving unit. That's giving it a slightly less direct light, and it seems to prefer that. I'm seeing some signs of recovery in the tips now. It is still looking a little bit dry on the tips. It's been watered recently. The watering, I don't believe, is the issue. I might try misting these little tiny, and almost like pine needles. Maybe it wants a bit more humidity up around the top. I might try that, but certainly leaving it on the floor right in front of the lighting seems to help. It seems to find that a little bit kinder. So that one's a little bit of a grow light fail. Not every succulent enjoys being under a grow light. Another little bit of a grow light fail is Echeveria Black Prince, who you may remember I got just before Christmas. I had him on, again, I think the middle shelf. So, what's that? Yeah, probably 12-15 centimetres from the light source. And he's not getting enough light. He's etiolated. He is stretching out in a silly direction. He's not close enough to the light source. Fickle little things, aren't they? His colour has improved, and that's because I've now put him up on the top shelf. So his leaves are about that far away from the light source now, and he seems to prefer that. I'm also going to be putting him, when I pop him back, directly underneath the light so that he is not reaching. I've been trying to just turn him every day just to try and straighten him back up, but that hasn't quite worked yet, so I'm going to be actually relocating him to right under the light source. Another fail. Grow light successes, I would definitely put my topsy-turvies along that line. This was actually a leaf cutting that I took, and she's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've got fabulous light pink blushes to the tips and the edges of the new leaves forming. She's got a gorgeously compact crown. She has really enjoyed being under the grow lights, and she came on so quickly from that leaf cutting. Put on lots of growth, and then when I potted her up, she just became the most gorgeous little plant. I am absolutely delighted with her. So I think it's fair to say I've had more successes than failures. I've learnt lessons, and I don't necessarily consider that to be a failure because I'm learning, so that's a good thing. So if I was starting over, would I buy grow lights again? Yes I would. Previously I had tried to grow some Kalanchoe that, it's the paddle plant, the one that has the red edges. They were gorgeous plants, really lovely. They'd come from Covent Garden, they looked really stunning. I put them in my window, I thought I was doing everything right for them, and they died so quickly. Probably within the matter of a couple of weeks I'd lost them. So that was a huge waste of time and money, and so from that point of view, for me to be investing this amount of money in succulents, and let's face it, if you're buying name varieties from good nurseries, you're going to be spending £4 per plant, £5, £6, sometimes £10 per plant. Even really decent sized ones from garden centres that are unnamed varieties, you're still looking at £5, £6, £7 per plant. And I've got an awful lot of plants here, I admit it. So that's a huge investment. It is. So, you know, if you're going to do it seriously with the idea of propagating new plants so that you can do projects with them, to invest in grow lights seems like a bit of a no-brainer, really. I don't have to worry about whether they're getting enough daylight, whether they're getting too much daylight. You know, sometimes we get such bright days here. The sun absolutely blasts through the window. Anything on the window ledge could get scorched, or vice versa, might not get enough light for days on end. I don't have to worry here. They're getting a measured dose across those 12 hours a day that the lights are on for, and then they have a bit of a rest at night. So I don't have to worry about, are they getting enough hours of daylight? Yes, they are. The lights are doing that. There might be a bit of finessing to do with how close each plant is to the lights, and whether they're getting what they want and what they need, whether they're, in the case of the Senecio, they're getting too much. Not only have I got the different heights in terms of where the light is compared to the shelf, if I need to, if I run out of space on my shortest distance one, I could pop a pot underneath one that seems to be stretching a bit more for the light and just raise it up a bit closer. I did my own research into whether a fluorescent tube light system was better than an LED light system. There are lots of grow lights around that are a mixture of red and blue LEDs. For me, I would find that very intrusive. I'm not growing these in a cupboard or one of those covered planters. This is in one of my rooms in my house. The light can be seen from everywhere. The idea of pink and blue lights didn't really appeal to me. These T5 lights are a really good spectrum of light for the plants to absorb everything they need to from them. The plants are looking healthy, they've got good colour on them. Pearl von Nürnberg, for example, you know how successful my Pearl von Nürnberg has been. Look at the beautiful rich colour she's got. That's because of the grow lights. If she wasn't in grow lights, I probably wouldn't have been able to grow her as beautifully as this, but also her colour probably would have faded to more of the sagey green. She wouldn't have this gorgeous purpley pink. And look at the colour of these jelly beans. Again, that's from the grow lights. They're getting what they need to produce those beautiful colours. So there we go, just a little insight into my thoughts around grow lights this week, from my own personal experience. Remember, I haven't tried out red, blue LED lights or any sort of LED lights. I have only got experience with my fluorescent T5 lights, but I'm very happy with them. Really, really happy with what I've been able to achieve in these short 3 months. And it's winter. Let's remember that, it's winter here. So they're not in their full growing season. Crikey. I'm going to need more shelves. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to rate, share and subscribe to me here on YouTube. And until next time, bye.